geheim ja. Dat is dit wat we gaan doen. So be quiet. Hello everybody, welcome to the stream featuring Colin and Amie and Michael. And, okay.
Oh, who else?
It's a takeover.
Who else
Takeover.
is it featuring? Who else is it featuring, Tina?
Me?
Yes, of course.
No, it's a takeover. Amie and I said, okay, let's go. Girl power, takeover.
Yep, we're all here for it. We're all here for it. Michael and I will happily grab onto the coattails and ride that beautiful wave wherever you two take us, any day. Welcome back to the Crazy Crafter livestream, everyone. Tina Martins, thank you for joining us today. Danny,
Happy to be here.
yeah, Danny had some Easter plans and was like, I've got family stuff, and I was like, do family stuff. And Tina was so lovingly and willing to jump in on the stream and hang out with us today. So Tina, thank you for being here with us and co-hosting with Michael and I today. Joined as always by Michael Patterson from Nat One Videos. Welcome, Michael.
Hello.
Welcome. I've got some loud epic music still playing in the background. Let me turn that down a little bit for us all. And then last but certainly not least, our featured guest this week on the Crazy Crafter live stream, Amie Root from Mouseketeer Forge. Actor, teacher, fight director, playwright, now teeny tiny sword artist extraordinaire. Is there anything that you cannot do, Amie Root? And the answer to that is no, there isn't, because you're extremely
Standing
talented.
backflip.
Well, I can't do those either, so yeah, there we go. Thank you, Amie, for joining us today. We're very excited to have you officially on the weekend live stream tutorial. We're thrilled.
Prime time, baby.
Prime time! So excited to have you here with us today. And everyone else out there that is joining us, thank you for tuning in and being with us. Happy Easter to you all. We've got Night Terrain out there. Zane Morgan Crafts is out there. Cross from Campaign Terrain. Welcome to the stream, you guys. Ashley White in the house. Fellow theater artist extraordinaire. Ashley, a good friend of both Amie and I. Welcome to the stream, Ashley. So happy you could join us. Is Ashley going to be making some teeny tiny swords today, Root?
I believe she might try her hand at it, or just take whatever I make.
I mean, that's pretty cool too. That's what I might do.
I have to point out before we do more call outs, because I see Derek's in here, that I in fact did wake up in time for my own stream.
That's important. Like, we should get golf clap, everyone.
Yeah.
Golf clap. Applause. Massive applause for Root. No, you can most certainly be a morning person if you have obligations. You're always there. You're committed, dear friend. Okay. Who else we got out there? Derek, like you said, we got Derek Ludwig out there. Welcome to the stream. Cheers, brother. Looking forward to next weekend having you on the stream.
Speaking of Derek, I got some coffee in the post on Wednesday.
Huh?
All the way from America.
And
With a catapult.
I haven't actually opened it yet. I want to do a ritual with the first cup. I don't want it to just be an average day drinking coffee. I want to really try out this coffee. So
I had 2 cups. I had 2 cups yesterday, and normally I've been doing just like 1 cup a day. But I was just like, man, I wanted like a cup of coffee in the afternoon, like chill. It was a chill day yesterday. Got home from the park. We went to the park yesterday and hung out, had a little picnic. And then
You hang out.
Like,
really hang out.
Oh, really hang out. And then like I came home and had some more coffee. I was like, dude, it was a good day. It was a good day. Amie Root knows all about coffee. Amie Root is a coffee connoisseur And Amie Root is coffee is a precious thing to Miss Amie Root. You haven't had it yet, have you? You haven't had Cantrip yet, have you?
I have not had it yet.
I may have to send you a belated birthday gift with that. That's pretty.
I love it when my birthday never ends.
Yeah. It's pretty tasty. It's pretty tasty, and I think you'd enjoy it. You'd enjoy some delicious Cantrip.
I see that Ernesto just jumped in there. Hi, Ernesto. I have a drawing of a sword. Please don't judge it, but enjoy it.
Yay, Ernesto! Thank you for joining the stream. Let's see who else we got out there. Like catapulted. It was catapulted across the way. Max DM Crafting. Oh, what's up, Max? Thanks for joining the stream today, brother. I'm looking forward to chatting with you a little bit later on today. In Italy, we have a lot. We have like a lot of coffee. Oh yes, I'm telling you, Derek, get that catapult going, man. Get that catapult going, bro. The coffee will take off like wildfire around the world, man. It's really good. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. We're very, very excited to have Amie on the stream. Amie and I have known each other for a very long time now, almost half. It's getting close to half my life, Amie Root. If not, are we there already? It may be. I don't know.
We're at half.
We're at half
of my life.
Yeah.
Like 10 years.
More than that. More than that, bro.
Colin, I was being kind to you.
Oh, thanks. No, not happening. I noticed all these gray hairs coming in today. I'm like, I need to trim this beard so I can shave a couple of years off, man. I'm an old man today. Yeah, gray beard. It's definitely gray beard action. Amie is a dear friend. We go way back. We've met each other through the Society of American Fight Directors at our first National Stage Combat workshop together back in 07. You know, we've our journey with the Society of American Fight Directors started very similarly along the same path, and through that workshop we've become very, very, very good friends. One of my best friends, and she is an amazing teacher, an amazing theater artist, all around amazing individual. And I knew when I threw down back when I first started the Princess Bride diorama on the weekday streams, I was just like, man, I wish I could make some teeny tiny swords. I should make some teeny tiny swords. And I was just like, I think we ended up throwing like a friendly challenge down together to see who could make teeny tiny swords and how they turned out. And
yeah, I mean, I'm not competitive at all.
Yeah, not at all, right? And I of course started with like my idea, and we kind of like it. I finished the diorama, and then one day I like started it back up, and then it took me like weeks to come up with my idea, and I think within hours Amie was just like, boop, I've got my had the prototype ready to rock and roll, and thus teeny tiny swords started spewing out everywhere, all over in the greatest way possible, all over social media, and everyone loves your teeny tiny swords, Amie, and I do too. They are amazing. They're so cool, especially for any of us that play tabletop games or are huge fans of swords, love swords, and I think you and I and the rest of the fight community have a special affinity for it in our hearts, because we know we have an appreciation for good swords, right? We need them to be safe. We want them to look good, but yours I think have been taken to the next level, and they're really, really cool. So tell us a little bit about
not safe. Not safe at all.
Oh! Are you
Tina drew first blood.
First blood.
Yep.
First blood.
First blood.
that happened on my second stream, Tina. So the second stream this.
It's the second stream that gets.
Goes like, whoops. Okay, that was it.
Let this be the disclaimer for everyone now.
Oh no!
Please exercise
paper
caution.
tissue.
Please exercise caution when creating teeny tiny swords. They are a wee bit prickly, and they might
effectively are real little swords.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, I've been a nurse over 30 years and I haven't had one accident of stinging.
Yep.
Not one.
Yep.
Not one in my total career. I'm 2 minutes on the stream and bam. Okay.
There it goes, dude. Oh my goodness. Well,
my whole career down the drain.
Oh my gosh.
No, nowhere to go. It's not down the drain.
No.
We call those battle wounds. Those are battle wounds.
Yeah. Okay.
Those are crafting wounds, and
crafting wounds.
Blood for the blood. Blood for the blood god.
Yeah,
like
blood
yes.
for the blood god.
Blood for the blood god.
That was the donation for the day, though. We don't need any more blood for the blood god.
So.
We're good. We're good on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many? Well, Amie, tell us. Where did you initially draw inspiration when you started to create? Like, what besides the challenge, obviously, like, where did you draw some inspiration from in making?
Well, I do have to say that you make it seem like with a snap of a finger, I went from we're in a sword challenge to I have tiny swords, and it definitely. And I feel like many people that watch the Crazy Crafter live stream or YouTube videos on crafting have had that moment where, you got a little bit of the depression hitting and you're not doing anything creative and you're struggling a bit and you need someone externally to spark that creativity. And I was in desperate need because I'm a, theater artist, and my other jobs that I genuinely enjoy are bartending and working in a gym, and all of those things cease to exist. So having YouTube channels and streams that give you that sort of external creative spark were, I think, really important. And I definitely started with I'm gonna use this toothpick and figure out how to make it into a sword, and then did not work and was struggling to get that metal look. And I'm not a terrain crafter or anything. I mean, I play D&D, but I'm more of a board game geek. And I had never painted a mini. So I was kind of fumbling around in the dark. But I think when you also don't have any information, then you don't have any preconceived notions of how a thing should be. And I have a lot of sewing experience from costume shops, and I have a lot of shop experience, So I have a lot of tools at my disposal, and we got a puppy, Boone, and Boone likes his blankie. He's got a very specific blanket that he loves, but he also loves to rip it apart and then be upset that it's apart. So I was sewing it back together with these sewing pins, and I was like, wait a minute. You look like a pommel. Yeah, and historically, small swords were one of the last iterations in the progression of swords, and they were more like a needle than they were a sword. They didn't really have an edge. They were more for skewering, and because there wasn't penicillin, even if you got skewered just a little bit, you could die.
Yep.
Because, most wounds from swordplay were actually even more deadly than getting in a gun duel, because guns were so unreliable that oftentimes they missed. Whereas if you just got stabbed a little with with a pointy long needle, they didn't have the medicine to save your life. Yep. So I was like, oh, this is kind of neat. It actually is a shrunk sword. And then I was an assistant for Lewis Shaw. If you're out there, love you, for 3 years as a stage combat sword fighter person, and he makes real weapons. He is an actual armor, but some of his most beautiful work is with wire work, and I was like, this is amazing. Of course, his wires are much thicker, and he uses power tools and things to twist them.
I should have totally grabbed. I have a wire wrap dagger that he sent me a long time ago, and it was late, so he wire wrapped the handle. And he's like, I'm sorry this is late, and I might step away here later in the stream to grab it to show everyone where who Amie trained with, and why her wire wrapping is pretty baller.
Yeah, so I drew from a lot of that stuff. I also, as a drawing artist, am much better at looking at something and then drawing my interpretation of what I'm looking at than I am actually drawing from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of like, oh, you had started it with the Princess Bride. I wanted to make the Inigo Montoya sword.
Oh.
And so that's kind of where I had started. Why I started with like the gold, really bright gold wire, and trying to do a swept hilt, which is the bane of my existence. Yeah, was because you were doing the Princess Bride diorama, and I wanted to crush you by doing the better sword. Just kidding, not competitive.
No, it's okay.
In the Discord with the challenge the other day, Amie posted her picture in and just like was like, not competitive at all, but I'm here to win kind of thing. like after someone else had posted their picture in, and then they just posted back a little tear.
Oh no!
I'm only joking. No, I'm not joking. It's real, actually. But...
Oh, it's real. It really happened.
No, the tear is real. The tear is real.
Yes.
Well, I love the fact that you know, you've taken all of these elements and sources of inspiration and turned it into this. Now, you know, you've got people, you've got a following now, Amie. You have a base of people that love these teeny tiny swords and that are excited about this craft, including everyone who's here with you today on this stream. Like, I love how quickly, and it went quick. You went quick down the crafting rabbit hole very, very quickly. And I think, you know, all it takes is that one, like you said, that spark of inspiration, right? And I think, you know, you found it, and I'm so glad you did, because now these get put out in the world, and they are a point and a source of joy and happiness whenever I get to see them post. When I see you creating something and posting it, they're just amazing, and it's inspirational. I'm like, see, it can be done. Things that I haven't seen before in the craft, or people making something like this, and I was like, I know, I can't make it as good as I don't know. I just really enjoy the fact that a bunch of other people now are creating, you know, something that hadn't been around before. It didn't exist up until you started doing it, Root. So it's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I like the challenging nature of our Discord being such a high level of talent.
Oh my gosh.
With all the sharing and the fact that it's shared talent. It's not like I do this thing and I'm not going to tell anyone how I do it, but it's like, hey, I do this thing and you can do it too, and everybody's art gets elevated in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's what's fun. What's the fun part of it? You can share things and you can learn from everybody, because everybody interprets it in a different way. So
yeah,
it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, it's all fun.
Yep, I agree.
I see you campaign terrain with your yes, the sticky pokey. I like the quote, I have never seen its equal for my swords too.
I also like Ashley's comments in here, not competitive at all. Nope, not at all. Not one bit. I also
just
like
taking over the stream, that's all.
Just taking, hey, we are but here for we are but a vessel for teeny tiny swords this weekend. I also love the fact that we have, you know, Michael's competition with the Sword and Shield challenge this week. Like healthy competition it helps inspire everyone.
Honestly, that competition was kind of inspired by seeing Amy's little swords, and I was just like, I wonder how everyone else would bring their own little thing to that. And it's really cool because everyone is doing something totally different.
Totally
it's
different.
Really
cool. And I definitely would not have made a shield if I wasn't trying to do.
Yeah, it's about. I mean, it's also why I kind of was on one stream during the week we were on with Colin, and I mentioned gates.
The gates.
It's just like so. You can make these tiny swords really, really, really well, but you can probably make loads of other really cool stuff as well. Like, you know, so take it to another level.
That's just it.
That's true. I did go down a rabbit hole with the gates, and I think that not that this is not necessarily a stream about how I would make a wire ornate gate for in front of a house, but I definitely started trying to do a bunch of different like branch off wrapping stuff, and I was like, I need a friend to print me a frame, I think, because not having the frame, and then even with just this shield, I had to draw what I wanted and bend to the design, so because you have to go forth with conviction when you are dealing with wire. You can't like bend back and forth a bunch.
Right.
And
Have you shield there?
yeah.
Can you hold up the little shield?
Insta hand. There it is. Boom.
Oh, why am I doing this?
Oh yeah.
I have another camera angle.
You have other camera angle.
I
Use
have
camera.
other camera. Use tools at disposal.
Use tools that are at disposal. Hello. There it is. Boom.
So cool, man.
Ah.
It has the I actually left a gap in the leather.
Of course you
can
did.
See it, so that you could essentially stick it on a character's arm if you wanted to.
That's amazing.
Now Zane has to print a minute to stick it on.
I think that the worst part was these flower pommels.
Yeah.
We're just
Are
Oh.
I'm so we're not starting with UV resin flower pommels, are we, for the beginning swords?
oh hell no. I do have the UV resin, but
I mean,
I should've-
I think if we have time at the end of the stream, depending on where we are, like if you wanted to walk people through a little bit of a beginning tutorial on how to do it, we totally could. You don't have to do it either, but we'll see where we are with time. I know we got several reiterations that we wanted to try to walk people through and guide everyone through today, but that is an absolutely gorgeous piece, Root. It looks so cool. I love that. I love all the color in that piece, and that's something that I'm trying to add more of back into any of my crafting, whether it's a mini that I'm painting or terrain. The color is important, and there's just so many colors at play there. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful piece.
There, that's perfect. That's perfect right there.
Like, can you imagine those, Root, as ornaments? Like making those as ornaments for, like, to decorate a tree? Like, I want that hanging on, I want that in my office or something. Like, I want it hanging, decorating something, at my workstation. It's just, I don't know, it's just cool. I love it. When are you starting to take commissions? That's my next question. When are you going to start taking commissions?
I did just get 100 of these tiny little boxes.
Ooh. What are those tiny boxes
Now
for?
you're
Have
talking.
I'm just saying.
Oh, you mean to, like, ship? Are you talking about shipping stuff?
I don't know what you're talking about.
down the rabbit hole we go.
I like that Carl makes stuff knows me so well that he's like, oh yes, do a mini, and then Amie Root has to paint it. And I'm like, no. I have my one little mini guy. My only time I've ever painted a mini. He's right here.
He's
Calico
cool.
Richelieu.
What
Sarah says, Cardinal Richelieu.
Oh, Cardinal Richelieu. Love it.
So, have you considered drilling or cutting his sword off, drilling a hole in his hand, and putting one of your own swords in there?
I 100% have, because this one right here was made to fit in his hand.
Yeah.
It does actually. It's the correct size.
So you probably have to
that's
drill
hard.
in from the side as well, so that it could slot in.
Yeah. I actually went on Hero Forge to see if you can like do closed hand, open hand, curved hand.
Yeah.
And I think if I did a curved hand, I could. Tina had sent me a link to some tiny magnets you could put in there. And then you could swap out all the tiny swords.
Oh man.
In the first set. But I don't know. This is really small. Like I have my reference quarter here for y'all. Well, I guess it's Americans. Reference quarter.
I think it's a quarter.
But like it's so tiny.
I know.
It's teeny tiny.
So I don't know if that's
Amie, those sword boxes that you're thinking about shipping in, if you got little dollar store foam core, you could wood texture the grain and do individual sword boxes like they were part of, like, you know, the ceremonial procedure when you open them up and there's like a little piece of cloth inside, or you don't even have to do cloth. You could just do like construction paper and like put it inside. It'll look like velvet. I'm just saying, I'm inspired by you. I'm inspired by you, and I'm sharing
like
that
this
inspiration.
from silk?
Oh, there you go. Or just get some silk and actually put it in there and wrap it, and you could make teeny tiny like sword boxes that
I bought it with the stuff in it already, so that I could just stick it in the stuff. And then the one I did do, I wrapped with wire to keep it closed.
I bet you that would just look cool.
And then I stamped it. Or I drew a tiny mouse on the corner in silver pen.
Super cool.
Wow.
Mind if I just jump in? There's a couple of questions here.
Okay.
If that's all right. Well, first question is from Sonder. It's a bit tongue-in-cheek. Do Amie and Tina have the same hairdresser? That's an odd question for the stream.
Oh.
And then PJ Gonzalez is like, hi, I like the tiny swords. How long does it take to make one? And what is the inspiration for the designs?
Ooh.
Paula, is that you? Hola, Paula. Pedro de Renos. Ah! I hope that's Paula. What was the question? I got distracted.
I got excited.
I like the tiny swords. How long does it take to make one? And what is the inspiration for the designs?
Good question. So, your first one's gonna take way longer. But the basic one, we could here. Let's do this. Let's do this. Is what I'm saying. Okay. So if you've got your pin, right? We're painting the pommel, which is this part, which I gave you a little diorama here in case you don't know what words I'm using. Pommel. Pommel.
Yeah.
So let's do, I wonder if silver. So
That is
when
your friend, by the way, Amie.
it is? Oh,
It is them.
yay. Long time no speak. So, oh man, this is hard. I kind of have to reach like through the stand of the camera to do this. I'm not gonna be able to do this. So what you want to do is pick your wire and you're gonna wrap it around. Let's do this. Let's see if I can do this better. Mama, wire on top, right?
Oh, slightly out of camera there, though. There we go.
Yep.
And then you're gonna wrap it around once, and you want to see how that's not like. Why did I pick silver? That was really not wise.
It's still
Okay.
fine. I've got you on the larger cam right now, Amie. So we've got a really good shot of it. So.
Do I want to do black? Let's do black because you'll be able to see it better, even though it won't be as sexy.
That's all right.
Black is sexy.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it's gonna look. No,
I mean,
it's
I
gonna look awesome
agree.
no matter what.
But this is coated wire, and so it's like not shiny, and then
My fingers were not built for this.
I believe in you. Okay, you'll be able to see this better. Okay, so when you wrap this around, you're gonna do it twice, and then look at it, and you'll see that like it's not necessarily right up next to itself. Right? Yep. So there's gaps. You don't want gaps. You want it to be right next to itself. So a couple at the top is okay because you can always unwrap the top, and then you're fine. But you want to make sure as you go down the sword that you're really making sure that you're right next to the last one you wrapped.
Okay.
Right.
Can y'all see that?
Yep.
And if you're going down, as you go down, if you get a gap, right? If I accidentally do that and now I have a gap right here.
Yep.
Don't keep going.
No.
Go back and fix it. Because what happens if you have the gap is when we push it down to our pommel to scrunch it.
Mm-hmm.
See how it's scrunched together?
Yep.
You'll end up with like a bubble, and part of your wire will be popped up and the rest of it will be down.
I found this out yesterday when I tried to wire. I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait 12 hours. I was doing the Sword and Shield challenge, and I was like, "Oh, wire wrap this pop rivet," and I did. I over wrapped it. I had all the wire bubbles yesterday. I was like, "Oops a doodle, oops a doodle." That looks great, Amie. That looks awesome. I'm gonna switch. That's a good view there. I'm gonna transition back over to all of our cameras, not mine, but all of our cameras here. I'm gonna try getting going. So is that the first step? We'll get to the first step here. I need to wire wrap mine. Now I'm gonna take the pommel here, and I'm going to got my wire.
So when you're wrapping down here, make sure that you pause to look at it and see if it is as much of the sword as you want, because you're gonna want to make sure that the grip
How long would you want your grip to be?
Like, I usually aim for about a third of the sword. It can be a little bit under because you're gonna add a cap.
Right.
So yes, oopsie doodle.
Now, if I don't have a cap bead like you, is there another way of doing the top?
Yes.
Okay.
You're just jumping the basic level.
You're upgrading already.
Yeah.
In at the deep end.
And as you go along, you want to kind of press it down onto your pommel. So right now we're using the sewing beads. If you're out there and you're like, well, crap, I don't have a sewing bead, I'm using a different type of pin. I have done quite a few swords that have the different pommels on the end of them. These, for example. And what I do to start is I clip off the end bead of mine. So you wouldn't have to do that because you don't have it. But then I put super glue on the end and I slide the bead onto it. And if you can see, there's on this one, I slid the bead just past the sword. I don't know if you can really see let me see if I put the light over it.
See if I can make it bigger again.
There's a bit of a piece of the pin sticking out the top of the pommel. When they used to make swords, they would tack the end. Yeah.
Yep. I see.
So it adds a nice little detail if you leave the pin sticking out just a little bit of the top of the pommel. If you have that choice. We are using these guys because it's quicker and simpler. Whenever you make these, however you decide to be creative, don't clip your tails. So if you're like, oh, I think I'm done with my grip, clip, don't do it. Don't do it.
I wasn't just about to clip my tails, by the way.
Don't clip the tail.
I totally was. What do I do instead, Amie?
Okay, so you should have a long one, right? That was from the top.
Correct. Ooh, or the bottom.
And then a short one on the bottom.
Yep.
Do you have, how much of the wire do you have at the top, Colin?
I mean, I'll show you. I reversed it. Here's mine. I've got the bottom one. The bottom one is long. The bottom, yes, ma'am. The bottom one is long and the top one is short.
That might not be terrible.
I don't think so.
We might have to do a little configuring.
Okay.
That's really good, Michael. Wow, good student.
Yeah, thanks.
A++. So what you're gonna want to do before you clip it, the bottom, is press it so that the very bottom of your wrap pushes up against the ball and curves the way you want it to curve. If you've already clipped it, you won't be able to push it down the tail. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you want to press it, and then when you pull it away by the top tail, and then just clip it exactly the way it formed against the bottom. If you've got a clippers like this, make sure you put the flat side toward, so you're not clipping away like this way.
Yeah.
But this way. I know that seems self-explanatory, but it really makes a difference with such a tiny sword. And you are now allowed to clip the bottom tail. The tail closest to your pommel.
Okay.
And then what I do is use super glue for this part. Ooh, nothing like a curved bottom. Oh, can I say that on here?
You can. Curved bottom's okay. Worse has been uttered.
Is that about a 1.5 inch of wire you are starting to wrap with? No, it's like, do you mean how much wire do I have, Ernesto? Because my wire was probably about 6 inches long. Like, I use extra, and then when you clip it, you'll still have quite enough left to use it again.
Sorry.
What?
I was just saying this is already starting to look cool. I interrupted.
Yeah. So you want more wire than less wire. Don't clip down to what you think, because it limits your creativity. And then what I'm gonna do is just don't put too much super glue at the base of your pin, because it'll just squish out all over your pommel, and then you're gonna have issues. So I use the little brush from the super glue, and I just, can you see that? I just brush it onto the end.
Yep.
And then you're gonna want to push it up pretty quick, otherwise it starts to dry, and your wire wrapping will be too tight to go over the dried super glue. So once you put the super glue on, push it back down over pretty quick. If you wait too long, it won't slide over the super glue, because you did such a nice job wrapping. If you guys out there in the chat have a direct question for me, I have it open in front of me, and if you do @Amie, it turns it red, and I can see it quicker. Have I posted pics of the cardinal? I did when I first painted it, in the Discord, in the Show Your Work Discord. But it was my first one that I ever painted, and you know when you're like, oh, okay, I got frustrated and wanted to throw this away, but now I'm glad I didn't throw it away, and then you take a picture of it, and all of a sudden all of the things, like the gold paint that accidentally got on the toes, or like the whole underside of the coat that you missed just sort of shows up. Yeah, that's that. So I don't know. I didn't post it again. He's on my Instagram. You can go on my Instagram and see him.
Oh yeah, that would be what, @Mouseketeer_Forge, right?
Yes.
Yep, we'll put that up there in the chat for everyone to see, so they can find their way. Definitely go give Mouseketeer Forge a follow on Instagram and some love on there to stay tuned for all the amazing creations that Amie's gonna have as she continues down this awesome rabbit hole.
They'll make her.
So Ernesto, you asked how much on the lower end below the first wrap. I actually do most of my wrapping in the middle of the pin, and then I slide it down because it gives me more leverage.
Yeah. Yep.
And I can see it better, and I don't have to deal with the pommel section. It's also easier to do wrapping once the grip has dried with the super glue, because it's not sliding up and down the sword. So if you look at it after you super glued and you're like for me, when I look at this one, I'm kind of like, that's a little bit less grip than I want. I kind of want a little bit more grip. Yes, I said that. So I think I would add probably a loop or two to the top, which I can still do with the wire I have left, and it stays because I super glued it. So I don't have to worry about it too much. I can just hold it and wrap it. Wow, this is hard to do. To look at the screen and then look at the thing and then also wrap at the same time. It is a challenge. I think I'm managing.
You're doing great. I've only pseudo messed up a couple of times because I'm the worst student ever.
If you're out there and you clipped your tail, or you don't have if you have a little bit of, if you have like this much tail, you're fine. We can salvage that.
Sweet.
If you clipped your tail, we have to do a whole different method to get you a Knuckle Guard and some Queons.
Don't clip it.
So don't clip.
Trying to make a Knuckle Guard right now.
So
he's
here's
hammering.
the part where you I don't know why he's hammering.
Why are you hammering?
Well, I have this perfect little bead, but it doesn't have a hole in the middle. Like, can you see that?
I see
Yes,
it.
put your hand behind it so I can see it.
So one of the round beads?
Is that a bead cap?
It was like, you know, Tina, you sent me some beads.
Yeah.
So there was a sphere one.
Yeah.
And it had these different parts to it. So I kind of I've cut that apart.
I did that too.
And I'm trying to make the top part. I just need to get a little hole in the middle though.
Yeah. Like this.
Yep, just like that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out a hole here.
But there's one hole in it.
Yes, there's one hole, but that one I'm using for another stage.
Okay.
Because there's only one. So
Yeah,
that'll be
I know.
that one.
Yeah.
So this will be good, Root, because my tail on the top end is smaller, not a longer one. So but like you said, I have enough. I have enough here, so that'll be good. Everyone can learn by my proxy.
So I'm gonna see if I can't pickle jar in the house for
What's
Tina
up?
time.
Yeah, Tina
Let's
time.
go.
Welcome,
So
Josh.
I'm gonna try up here so you can kind of see a little bit better. So
Okay.
this
I got
is
a
your
fancy hashtag.
wire, right?
Yep.
And I'm wrapping down. I usually like see how there's more here
Yes.
and a little bit less here. So
Correct.
you're like kind of in the top third, and then I wrap with the majority of the tail by my hand and less at the top, because I can always continue to wrap up the sword with the longer part of the tail.
Yep.
But I can only go so far this direction, and we're gonna end up clipping this anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that answers your question, and is better to see, because I know it's so tiny and it's so challenging to know. But yeah, that is hopefully answers your question.
Sweet.
So now if we're calling, you have a couple of choices. You can hope that by twisting another wire to it, I'm going to use silver so that you guys can see the difference in the twist.
Okay.
I always clip like about 6 inches. Like I go too long because I want the creative license to change my mind.
Yep.
As a lady is wont to do. So what you can do is decide that that's going to be a Queon and not your Knuckle Guard. If you think it's too short to come all the way to bend down and make your knuckle bow. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do.
Or if you think it's long enough, you can keep it and wrap it. Now, if it's like, I'm not sure if it's long enough, just go with it being the Queon. Because you always want to wrap farther than what you're actually going to use, especially if you're going to make a curve, because you want to be able to pull from the end to create the curve instead of having to manipulate the actual twisted wire.
Yep.
So if you don't think it's going to be long enough after it's twisted to make your knuckle bow, just make it a Queon. It's not the end of the world.
I'm going to live dangerously and say that it's long enough.
Okie dokie. So the next thing you're going to want to do is take your long wire, and I'm basically putting the pin in the middle of my new piece of wire. So I have like equal sides. This was actually kind of handy.
Now, do you recommend using a different color for this new wire?
I'm using a different color because I think you'll be able to see it better.
Copy.
I recommend you doing the color scheme of your sword that makes you happy.
Oh, okay.
I probably, if I was doing this from the get-go and was going to do the multiple colors, I would have added a color to the grip.
Okay.
Probably, so that I wasn't just suddenly adding a metal color. But I don't know, sometimes if you want to, now would be a good time. You can also do an overlay wrap on your grip to add a tail if you've effed up and cut your tail. Or if you want to have the design of, I think I have them here, an overlay. See how, let's do this. See how this is like wire over wire?
Yes.
Yeah, you can also do that. And doing it now gives you more tails and more choices.
Oh.
So you could do this overwrap and then wrap it right into your Knuckle Guard, which is what I did on this one because I didn't want the Queons.
Okay.
And then I glued the cup hilt on. I would recommend starting with Queon because it makes gluing the cup hilt on easier. I used a UV resin to glue that cup hilt on because you just don't have as much real estate to glue to. Yeah, so put your pin in the middle of your wire.
Yep.
And in the middle. And then the other thing that if you really, I'm going to add some more light because now I'm using black and silver and it's very difficult for me to see. Not with the magnifying glass. The little details for me are what makes these things. And I try to have whichever side of my pin the tail is coming off of is the side that I place my wire that I'm adding. So that it doesn't look like an added wire, right? It looks like it's a part of the one you already have.
Yep.
If you put it on the opposite side, then what's going to happen is you're going to have a Queon added onto the other side that looks like it's attached to the back side of the sword, and then the front side of the sword is going to have your Knuckle Guard, and then you're going to they won't all be on the same side.
Copy.
Yeah.
Which
that makes sense.
It's tiny. You probably can't tell, but I can tell, and it bothers me. So if you put the wire on the same side as your tail, then you won't have that problem. And then you can either choose if you want to have it wrap around the tail. So like my silver wire would wrap around the black one and it gives it kind of a vine-like effect. Or the easier way is to kind of split it. Split it and just twist it split. And don't worry too much about it being even right off the bat.
Oh, I see. So just twist it. Just twist it together.
Yeah. Instead, it has a slightly different look when you. I think I made an example actually. Let me get my Star Wars lunchbox out and find the example I have.
Oh, I like the twisting it super easy. You're right.
So,
that worked great.
What I'm saying is, like, if you look, maybe you can see. If you look at this one, this is one wire twisted around the other wire.
Yep.
And then this side is the X twist.
Oh.
So it makes a different thing. So like for this flower, I wanted the green to look like a vine wrapping around. So instead of doing the twist, I wrapped the green wire around the copper wire and left the copper wire straight and wrapped with the green. And it just makes a slightly different look to the twist.
Nice.
But just splaying it and twisting it will give you a nice, even look. And then just try to forget which way you were twisting because you stopped twisting and started talking. And then untwist the whole thing. Not that I know anyone that would do that, but...
Yeah.
More till more options? More till more options.
I will leave the extra wire for the Knuckle Guard. It will be the largest Queons ever on the sword. They look like whiskers right now with it on there. I've got so much. Yeah.
And twist farther than you think you're gonna need for a knuckle bow.
Yep.
Just keep on keeping on.
I've twisted the length of my short of that short top end.
Wonderful. If your ends, Colin, since yours was already cut, are still split, you can. Do you know what I mean? If they're not pinched together.
Yep.
You can grab a wire. What is this called? Pliers. There it is.
Yep.
Like holding object. It has name. You can use a pliers to squeeze them together at the ends when you twist. Just if your pliers has any roughness in it, don't squeeze too hard or squeeze and pull, or you'll dent the thing.
Right.
Yes, Michael. I think how's your twisty going? I think you got muted.
I'm muted. Sorry. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's looking pretty good. When you look at it, so I did it this way so you could kind of see. If you have the same colors, you don't have this much of a problem, but you can kind of see on mine right here-ish in the middle is a wider twist than the rest of it. Do you see that? Mm-hmm. Kind of did it on purpose. I hope you can see it.
Yep.
It's like tight, wider, tight.
Yep.
If that happens to you, you can squeeze just below where it is, and then grab it with a pliers and twist the direction you were going.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it'll fix that spot. If you don't grab a hold of it below, you're gonna keep twisting it at the base and it'll snap off eventually. So make sure wherever you want it to tighten, you grab a hold of it there and then twist with the pliers.
I think my problem with the wire is I have two different, how you call it? Thickness?
Gauges. Do you have two different gauges?
Voilà.
Yes, yeah.
So the green one is wrapping around the gold one, but it looks okay, I think.
Yeah. If you have two different gauges, 24 to 26 or 26 to 28 isn't too bad, but if you have like a 24 and a 28, I would just recommend wrapping the thinner one around the thicker one to start. Make that your plan, because they won't twist the same and you won't get an even twist.
So Zane says he wants to hear a sword rap, as in rap.
That
if anyone can do it, Amy, you can do it.
A sword rap.
I don't know. So one of my favorite memes that's ever been made ever on the internet is of this girl who's super pale on the beach with her tan friends, and they're like, "It's okay, it's all good, no problem. Like, come on, come out." And she takes her towel off, and she's like reflective. And the one friend goes, "Gondor calls for aid. The beacons are lit," and runs off. And that's like the meme. I'm that kind of white, so I'm probably not gonna try rapping. Cause the beacons, they done lit. Okay, that's what I gotta say about that. But maybe I'll make one up for a later time.
Now, once. Oh, go ahead, Michael.
No, I just had a question about the straggling wire on the other side. Did we cut that off?
No, don't cut off your tails. Don't cut off your tails.
Don't go cutting off your tails now.
So I did a lot of extra just so you could see. We're now going to try to make the knuckle bow curve.
Okay.
From our lovely diorama, you can see what the knuckle bow is right here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe.
Yep.
You said diorama.
Okay.
The diagram.
Diagram? That's what it is. It's a diagram.
But you said diorama. That's how much crafter you are.
It'll turn into a diorama later.
I definitely. Ashley, if you heard that wire hit the floor, it wasn't me, and I'm sure I'll find it. Cool. So when you bend, I like to kind of hold it where I want it to start to bend, and then I pull instead of grabbing it and bending it, because you'll get a harsher curve than if I hold it up here and I pull it. Now, you're probably going to want to pull it farther out than right at the cross guard.
Right.
But if you get a harsh bend, like if I do this. Oh, I can't even intentionally fuck up. Oh, sorry. I can't even intentionally mess up. Oh, life is so hard for me. If you do get a crease in it, let's just put a bend in it. So let's say I was like, oh shoot, that's too harsh. You can always, because it's twisted, take your pliers and pinch the spot where it got bent, and it'll round back out.
Cool.
Yeah, so Michael, what you're aiming for, though, is the side of the pommel for the beginning of your curve back out.
Okay. Got ya.
Yeah. And really try to use the length to do the curving, or you'll get these really harsh sort of bends.
Yep.
Can you bring your hand, the sword? There it is. There it is. Oh, I see. And we're using your fingers for that, or the pliers, Root?
My fingers. I try not to use the pliers. If you have a little bit higher gauge wire, yes, nice, Michael. If you have a little bit higher gauge wire, you're gonna have to use some pliers energy. You can also, if you have a round toothpick, you can use a toothpick to make the curve.
So the only wire I could get was 30 gauge floristry wire, and it's a little bit, you know, whenever wire goes a little bit kind of slightly rusty in places, it's just not great wire, but it's enough to learn the process, you know?
Yeah. So see how you can also use a toothpick if you have like particularly challenging wire to wrap around.
Yep.
And create that as well. I've now pulled on this so much that I've bent it out of shape. But you know what I'm saying.
We get the point.
Oh, snap. I definitely missed that one. I'm having to use my pliers because I made some unfortunate bends when I was talking through some stuff.
I'm using the pliers too, because it's not.
Yeah, yours is going to be so malleable that it's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass for you, Michael.
It's kind of, it was there, and then I moved it slightly, and now I have to readjust, and
Yeah.
Once you start messing around with it, it's foutu.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, there we go.
Oh, trying to show it off on the stream, I fucked it up. I messed it up.
Yeah. I see. Oh, yes. I'm sorry, I'm so bad at that word, Peter. So now I'm about ready to clip. And what I usually do for this is the idea that you see on swords is that the curve would keep going if there was still more of it. Yeah. So I try to make sure that I'm clipping where it shows that the curve is still going instead of before the end of the upward curve.
Yep.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yep.
But like, I don't want to clip down here because that's before the end of the circle curve. I want to clip up here where it's going back up. And you get your first tail clipping. Well, actually, you did one earlier, so you should be pro.
Hey, do you know what? It's not terrible. It's not terrible. Oh, I'm pretty happy, actually.
Yeah, for my first one, I'm pretty excited about
like
this
a swan.
Hey, look at that.
Look like a swan.
Here you go, Root. Here you go. Show it to you with the Insta hand.
Heck yes, with the Insta hand.
I mean,
it's so funny that I'm like preaching that to you because I've only had Instagram for like 3 weeks, 2 weeks maybe.
There we go.
Like, I didn't even have an Instagram before then, so look at that. Hey, Michael, that's a good curve.
Yeah, it is a good curve.
Yeah, Michael clipped at the top of the turn.
Nice.
At the bottom of his knuckle bone.
That looks good.
I clipped it, and then I did use your suggestion of then just a little bit more with the pliers, just bending it in. Super cool.
Yup.
Well done, y'all. Killing it.
So now you have this tail over here.
Yep.
Which is gonna become Queon, like this. right? So now is about when you want to decide, am I going to use a bead cap or not? And how much of Queons do I want? Do I want just the one, or do I want to do...
I do want a bead cap on, actually.
So if you don't have a bead cap, let's see, let me show you. See, here's one that doesn't have a bead cap.
Little lower there. There we go. There it is.
And I did the cross guard. This is a, these Queons are, oh, what's it called?
Opposing?
Opposing, thank you. Oh my God, bless it, words today. So I did opposing Queons, which means one goes up and one goes down. You can also do them both up or both down. Sometimes, I don't know. I prefer the aesthetic of the Queon that's above the Knuckle Guard going up.
Yeah.
Instead of both of them curving down, but those swords do exist. And this one also has the dreaded, oh my gosh, ring guard on it. But this is kind of where we're headed if you're not doing a bead cap. From here.
I don't have a bead cap, but
so
I
I'm gonna
do
grab
have...
another block wire.
Wait,
I do want to put on a bead cap on mine.
I'll show you. I do have this one, Amie.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Oh, did you drop it?
Did you? Oh yeah.
Can I use that?
Yeah, absolutely. You're gonna have Tina, you have UV resin, right?
I do have what?
You have UV resin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that hole is really big.
Yeah, it is.
On that one. So to get it to sit, you might want to use UV resin instead of super glue, because the super glue doesn't dry as clear. And St. Morgan Crafts, shout out, gave me the look for UV resin. When Amie Root holds up a toothpick and it looks gigantic, barbecue skewer. My sense of size of these is totally off. Yeah. I try. Oh, my reference quarter. If anybody out there watches Shut Up and Sit Down and they have the reference pair, I was like totally gonna use a reference pair and stick them in there and be all excited about that. But a pair is humongous compared to.
A quick question, Tina. Pickle Jar has got a question. Have you painted any of your cats yet?
No, I haven't.
Nope.
No, I haven't. No. I'm still trying to get these one paint, and I have a lot of other stuff going on. Well, for the game shop, I made the board, and I had a lot of fun. But I have some trouble painting minis, because if I look too long at the minis, my eyesight, I look at my computer and I don't see anything anymore. So it's a bit hard.
A little
Lots
break.
of minis.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
What's going on over there, Michael?
Michael's got all the faces going on. I think he's muting himself because he doesn't want to all the expletives.
Look,
Did it snap?
look what I'm doing to my pins over here. Like,
Oh, you're using your brute strength. Don't use your brute strength. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I've almost made a hole in this little bead cap because I really want to use this bead cap, but it's hard to get the hole through. So that's what I'm trying to catch up with you guys.
When you add this Queon on here, remember that we try to start on the same side as as the tail.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So if it's coming over the top, you want to add coming over the top.
So the same way we layered the knuckle bow.
Exactly. We're gonna put the pin in the middle of our piece of wire and wrap them together. And I am trying my damnedest, chat, to not make all of the innuendo jokes, but I do have a regret of not calling this size doesn't matter. Because that was the winner of the what should we call this situation? You are correct out there.
One more little clip here. Right.
Okay. I'm gonna go back over to this cam.
Can I? You might have gone ahead of me here, Amie, but can I just do a quick question here?
Yeah.
So I'm still at the stage where I've done the little, I can't remember the name of it.
Knuckle Guard?
Yeah, Knuckle Guard. And I now have my bead cap that I'm going to put on. Are we at that stage?
So your bead cap is the last thing you do.
Okay, so don't put on
No, you'll want at least one, even if your Queon isn't showing under the bead cap, it helps to have something to glue it to and stabilize it. So you can choose how short you clip it based on how much of it you want, if you want it to be seen or not. But only having one side is to glue to is really hard and makes it challenging to keep it flat and straight. And ones with bead cup hilts, this right here, cup hilts, word. Ones with cup hilts will have a single Queon sometimes sticking out. Let's see if I made anything.
With this, so with the Queon part, we're adding another piece of wire, right?
Yep. So
Just
see on this one, it's got the bead cap and the Queons. So you can choose whether you want the Queons to be seen or not seen.
Okay. Here we go.
Right.
I think we got it.
But you'll want at least one on the entry level.
On the
Mini
noob sword.
Happy Easter.
Mini Mason, thanks for stopping in. Enjoy Easter. Enjoy Easter with the folks.
So I'm only gonna go about that far because I know that I don't want very long Queons. So
Right.
I don't have to twist all the way down the wire. I can just go to here and then look for the spots where I didn't twist evenly and fix that with my pliers that I've set down somewhere.
Now, what do you do with the tail on the other side? Is that going to be used again, or?
Yes.
Ah, cool. Okay.
Yeah. So the goal is to never be gluing on any wires or anything, that you're always using wire to add wire. So
wire.
that you,
That's so smart.
yeah, you never have any issues
So smart.
with stuff falling off or any of that.
Or super gluing your fingers all over, like, to the piece. Like,
Right.
that's what I would be. That's what I would be doing. That's what I did last night.
Tina, did you use super glue to fix your finger?
No, it stopped bleeding. I had gold paint over it, so no problem.
No problem. Just a little bit of gold paint. No big deal.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh shit.
Man, my fingers are getting so tired, Root. Like the ends of them from like twisting, and I'm like, I need to loosen the grip, right? Loosen the grip on the sword. Don't hold it as. It's when you're torquing it.
It's when you're twerking it?
No, when I'm using. I'm trying to like.
You're
heard
awfully
me.
still for twerking it.
Sometimes you got to torque it to get the right bend in your Queon.
Do I know it? I got one of those badonkadonks that where just walking is twerking. So I tried to show you Pickle Jar. This is a Queon. It's the thing we're working on right now. I drew a
Don't glue.
diorama. Diagram.
Pickle Jar said, "Don't glue your phone to your head." Not one videos.
Yeah. I'm trying
Amy,
very.
did you pour the resin in and harden it before you put the needle?
No, that's a great question. I'm going to clip this, and then I'm going to tell you. So when you clip off, when you think you've twisted enough of this Queon,
Yep.
that you have excess.
Yep.
Clip the tails off, but make sure, see how this is like absolutely too long, right?
Yes.
For what the purpose is. That's because you're going to want that curve again where it's flat. And then I think I'm going to curve down on this one. Unless you want to add a bead cap to a flat Queon. So if you want it to be curved like this is curved up on this one. That's the curve we're doing right now. But you could, I don't think I have an example of a flat one. That's just one. Nope, that one's curved. I like it curved, so. do with it what you will.
I've got a lot of excess to work with over here for this one.
Yikes.
That's good.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's the
You're just tempting me left and right here. It's not fair.
I'm not. I'm wholesome and pure. That's what. I
blame Zane. No, I blame Elston. That's it. Elston is sus.
Elston is sus.
So if you don't want it curved, you can just leave it straight and just leave it extra. If you do want it curved, like me, I want it curved. I think I want them both curved upward. I'm going to use the tail as something that I can grab a hold of to bend it, so it starts to get that upward curve, right? And then I know where I can clip it because it's still going to look ridiculous. And you're going to want to leave that there while you glue on the bead cap, just in case you need to change how far or close it's curved.
Yep.
There we go. Not too bad.
And then, Tina, I'm going to answer your question. So now's the fun part. If you have bead caps, so see how,
great,
Michael, yours like curves down and then curves back up? Most swords won't have the quillon curve down toward the pommel and then back up again.
Oh, I've done it the wrong way.
It might not glue your cup hilt flat.
Okay. Okay, so I've done it wrong. I've basically bent it down and up, so I should do it the other way.
So what you try to do is keep this part flat and then just curve the end.
Right, got you.
The purpose of I mean, you can curve. I don't want to stifle your creativity.
No, it's
you
not.
want it to be all curvy.
It's about me seeing it the wrong way, or do you know what I mean? Just not.
Oh, the chat is going wild.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I can only imagine.
Innuendos everywhere.
I'm an angel.
Takeover.
I'm an angel.
There we go. I think I fixed that now.
Okay, nice. Also remember that because you're putting a bead cap on, it doesn't have to be perfect because it'll be under the bead cap.
Would you say that my quillon is too
I would never make such a judgment on a public stream, but no, I don't think so. It depends. So right now, slide your quillon down take the point of your sword and put it through the hole on the bead cap and slide the bead cap down the pin.
It's going well. The family stream is going well. The family stream is going extremely well.
And then you can kind of see, Michael, what it'll look like curved around. I'm sorry. Now I have the giggles. What have you guys done to me? You'll be able to see it.
I'm gonna leave mine like this. This is proportional, right, Root? Can you see it?
Yep. No, but that's exactly what you want to do. That's what it should be like. Because when you glue it, it'll be like that, and you'll have stuff to hold on to.
Truth.
When you're gluing it, you want it to be like that.
That's perfect. Okay, are we ready to glue it? Can I glue?
Yes, but hang on. I'd like to take this moment to wish my family a happy Easter. Okay. Love you guys. Sorry about the innuendo, Mom.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, Root family. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I'm gonna add a second quillon to the other side, I think. If you don't have a bead cap, now would be when you would add another quillon to the tail you have going, right?
Yeah.
If you're not gonna use that tail, we can talk about how to clip this off.
So what about I'm not going to use that second tail, so we can just clip it off, right?
Yes, but what you're going to want to do is wrap it back around so it gets that curve, and then clip it farther back on the curve So not off of the sword, but like back before the curve. Because otherwise you're going to have a piece of wire, tiny wire, just poking out. And most of this wire is not actually the color that it is on the outside, on the inside. So you'll just have this like flash of copper that tells you that there's a piece of wire loose. Whereas if you bend it over and then clip it, making sure that you use not the wrong side of your clippers.
Yes.
I know I keep saying that, but it's because I've made that mistake a couple times where I'm like, oh, I've got it perfect, and I clip it and it clips, you know, like a millimeter farther out than you intended because you used the wrong side. So yeah, clip that right there, and it's nice and bent around. And if you do have it sticking out at all, you can always grab your pliers and smash it down. This is also a moment where before you glue your bead cap on, you're going to want to make sure that if you had any weird stuff where like your knuckle guard is sticking out more now because we were twisting the other side.
Yep.
Or sometimes it pulls a little bit away from the wrap of the grip. And
Yep.
so you'll want to take your finger and press it back down. Any of those little things, you're going to want to do that before you attach the cup hilt.
Yep.
Because once you attach the cup hilt, all those adjustments are way harder to do. I think that my curvature is a little bit long down here. I want it a little bit more petite. So I'm going to clip this end off.
If once we've made those adjustments, Root, is it okay to glue it on?
Yeah, so I think, did I pick this one? Now we're going to talk about gluing. Yeah, I'm going to do this one. So Tina, if I was doing this with UV resin, I would put the UV resin on the blade, on the top of the queons, and then I would have the dollop on the blade be big enough that when I slide down the cup hilt, it fills the hole.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, yep, got it.
And then what I do with these and UV resin is I just flash the flashlight really quick on it, so it's not perfectly hard, but a little bit hard. And then I can, guys.
I didn't say anything. That was Tina. That was Tina. That was Tina.
That this stream that we do every Sunday has been entirely clean until we get the girls on. It's the girls that are the not us. You can call in their like,
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh god. Okay.
Oh god.
I'll be civil.
Love
It's
it.
fine. It's all good. At least I blushed so hard too because I'm so white. So like my face is very red right now, even though I think this is hilarious. So if you slightly harden it, you can still move the cup in case it's not flat.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? If it's
I
like
hear you.
not the correct direction. If you want to, you can just use super glue. It just takes forever to dry, so you're constantly poking at it, and then it's like, God dang it! And then you touch it too much. Yep, or you super glue your fingers. This is why I highly recommend the brush. So I've got it the bead cap on my pin, but not all the way down. And then oops. Well, I did. I wasn't lying at the time. And then I take the super glue and I paint the base and the top of the.
I'm laughing. I'm laughing because I simultaneously super glued my fingers to the sword and stabbed myself. And I super glued it and couldn't move the sword because I'd stabbed myself. So I just had a sword sticking into my finger. I was like, ow!
Okay, pro tip while this is going. So I've slid this down on here with the super glue, and now I'm going to turn it upside down.
Yeah,
so that the cup is catching the super glue.
Yeah.
And I can push with my fingers up toward all of the hardware.
Yeah.
To make it flat instead of trying to do it this way.
Yep.
And then all the glue is rolling down the wrong direction and not helpful. And then you've got it glued. And then you can pull it away and see how I'm a little bit crooked. I'm a little cockeyed.
Yep. I'm definitely cockeyed.
You can fix it.
I hope so.
Okay, I think I've finished.
That was the most unenthused.
I think you've defeated Michael with this craft, Amie. Michael's like, oh my god, what are we doing?
Well, have you painted the pommel yet? Will you put or at least put it in front of your face so I can see it or something.
See if I can
Yeah,
get
there
it.
you go.
Oh, it's looking good,
Yeah,
brother.
the little curve.
Let's see. Hold it. There. See. There. Can you see the?
Oh yeah. Pretty.
I like it a lot. It's really cool. Yeah, I'm going to just quickly go and get some paint for the pommel.
If you don't have paint for the pommel, not Michael has paint, but you can always use. I cheat and I use paint Sharpies.
Perfect.
And they drive much faster so that I can not mess them up.
Okay.
Ooh, Tina.
That kind of worked.
Kind of work. It looks amazing.
Great.
Let's,
I'll have to show
Look
you
at
guys. I'll
that.
show everyone here, kind of where I'm at on the stream, and then I'll go over to you guys and show you on the camera here. But I haven't cut my Queons down yet, but I really.
Yeah.
Amie, this is what a great tutorial. What a great teacher. Like the beginner level of this it's making me cocky enough to be like, I got next level skills, and I'm sure once I get there I'm gonna be reduced to tears, but that's okay.
With this little bead on top, should I prime it before I paint it, or should I can just use mini paint on that?
I use mini paint on it.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the question because for a second my internet was
like
unstable and I was terrified, so I just froze and was like,
Oh, you're good.
I don't need to prime the pommel, do I, before I paint it?
I didn't, but I'm just using a Sharpie paint.
I'll be
But
back.
I also picked, see how this is blue? I picked the light blue because I'm going to paint it with a silver Sharpie, right? I'll use a yellow pen for a gold Sharpie. Yeah, there it is.
Allez. And lunch.
Tanya, hello, welcome.
Hello, Tanya.
Tanya Lynn is here.
Hello, Tanya Lynn. Welcome to making teeny
So I'm
tiny
gonna
swords.
just clip this off because I think you guys can figure that out. But what I did was curve it, and if you need to adjust the curvature of your Queon, do it after the cup hilt has dried. I know it'll be hard because you'll be staring at it like, I just want to fix it. But don't bend the wires all over the place while your super glue is drying, or you'll have to start all over.
Oh my gosh.
With the super gluing
I'm not
of the
doing it.
cup hilt.
I'm not doing it.
Pro tip.
I ain't doing it. Okay, I need to paint.
I'm
I
just
need to
gonna
paint
clip
this
this.
pommel. Although I kind of like the black pommel. I don't know. I may leave it.
I may leave it.
I don't know. What do you guys think I should do? Should I paint the pommel, or should I leave it black? Let me know.
I'm painting.
You're painting yours?
Yeah. It looks a bit odd with the black. Actually, do you know what? Maybe it is cool. I don't know.
I mean,
You know what you should do? You should clip it off, and then you should grab a less than 1 millimeter dried flower and try to attach that dried flower in place of the pommel bead, and then individually paint
Yeah,
the
why not?
tiny, tiny petals with UV resin.
no.
I got a feeling that that's something that would take a little bit of time.
It seems like a really good idea
Oh my gosh.
and looks pretty cool when you're done, so there's that.
There was a tiny bead. I was gonna see if I could use like one of the little glass beads as like a pin on top of it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like add
yeah,
like a
yeah.
little
The
button, maybe
pin.
like add the button on top of it. You know? I might try
Usually,
that.
the sword's so tiny that that's like not really an
A thing.
to scale option,
Yeah.
which is why I just will clip off the end and glue the pommels to it.
Yeah, it's kind of it's just a little big. Yeah. It's just
Michael,
a
you'll
tidbit.
see if you're trying to paint the part that's like at the base by the curve of your knuckle guard. I just pulled my knuckle guard away
Yeah.
and painted underneath and then squeezed it back. Just don't do it multiple times.
Because it'll break.
Do it. Yep. Just do it the once. Otherwise, you'll weaken the base. Yeah. And if your super glue is not quite dry either, it can mess up if your cup is straight. So proceed with caution.
Yep.
Caution and conviction.
I mean, I am super happy that I have got one of these swords in my life now. I'm going to have to...
He's like, but I'm never doing it again.
No, I've got a couple of minis, actually, that are generic D&D ones. You know, the D&D ones that you get? And I might try and switch out one of their swords for this and see.
Yeah, if you get super into it, some of the fun things you can do is like, I don't know if you can see on this one, I wrapped silver and black. Oops. I wrapped silver and black around the grip, and I then used the black in between and the silver in between to do a overlay in the middle of the grip. So it kind of, yeah. And
I
if
was
anybody
going to ask about that, can you do that after? Because I made another one, but that's not the way you made it. But could I do something like, wait, I don't know if you see it.
Here you go, friends. I'm gonna put it up to the camera here for you guys.
Oh heck yes!
Yeah, that's looking great.
Are you leaving the extra long queons, or are you?
I am. I was gonna mess with them, but I kind of thought it'd be kind of cool. It reminds me a little bit of the SAFD logo, that cup hilt.
Well, and it's that classico sort of swashbuckling.
Yep.
Dramatic extra long queons.
It reminds
that are
me
a pain in the wrist.
Yes, it reminds me of the aluminum cup hilts from American Fencing Supply Company from back in the day. That's what this one reminds me of. So, which is one of the that's what I started trading with way back in the day. So, I'm.
So Tina, you can. Oh, sorry, Tom.
No, I was just gonna say that's why I'm gonna leave. I'm leaving it. I love it. It's really cool.
Tina, you can wrap like overlay wraps. On them, like I have. So this one is interior. Oh gosh, this one, the wrap is part of the whole wrap. So like where you see the black come through and the silver and stuff, that's all part of the guard wrap. So that's not an overlay. It overlays and then goes back into the. But this one it's wire wrapped over the top of the grip wire.
Okay.
The hard part is, I think that sword you just showed me already has both the cup and the pommel.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So the hard part about that is we use, at least right now, we just did use the pommel and the cup as ways to hide the ends of our wires. And when you add the wire overlay on after you already have those things, it's hard to wrap, and you have to really like get your tiny pliers in there and squeeze so that you don't have any of the tails that you've clipped showing.
Can I put something of the silk on it, silk wire instead of the?
Yes.
I think I'll try that.
There's no rules here.
That will be better.
I
know.
Rules here.
I know, but I have to ask the teacher.
I'm going
to do that, Miss?
more pink.
Miss, can I do that?
I will say that like 25 or so people at one point were watching us and chatting, and your likes are only at 13. So if you haven't yet,
please
go smash that thumbs up like button for Tiny Swords, even if it's just because you like watching Michael get tortured.
Please, 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 in addition to liking this video, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you can be notified every time the Crazy Crafter live stream goes live, because you never know what exciting adventures await. Today, Tina Martins joined us as a co-host today. We're so thrilled to have Tina here, and you know, we've got amazing content creators and crafters lined up all throughout the rest of April. In addition to, May is starting to fill up quite nicely, so you don't want to miss out. This is the place to be every weekend. Soon to be starting next week, every Saturday. for your weekly terrain tutorials from amazing members of the crafting community. So Amie Root, thank you so much for coming today and hanging out with us. I ended up painting my pommel. I couldn't resist.
I'm going to paint the grip as well.
Are you?
Oh.
Yeah, just because like I said, my wire's a bit rusty and not great. It just
Yeah.
Because I wanted to.
They have stuff for that. You can unrust your wire.
I would also say, Michael, since you're back, if you could throw the Discord in the chat so that people can, if you're finishing up on your sword, put it in the show your work so we can see it.
Yep.
I would love to see it. Or whatever you were working on while we did this would be really awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna get ready and head that way here pretty soon, y'all.
Would it be should I put like a few of I think some of my swords are in there, but would it be cool to see some of them in picture form?
Post them up there. That'd be awesome, Root. That'd be great. Post them up there.
The one other thing I was going to tell you guys is this was a game changer for me in the sword making. A lot of you that are sword fans know that the grip of the sword will be wrapped in like a leather and then have a wire overlay in the leather. If they've carved the grip out of wood, or now they do it out of whatever that bulletproof glass is made out of. If you want that look of like the wire pressed into the grip and stuff like that, or leather, this is paper, like from the crafting aisle for scrapbooking and stuff like that. And it's thin enough that I use it and I wrap it around the hilts. You can kind of see it, I guess. Look at how it zooms in on my face and not this object because I'm so beautiful.
I actually love this little sword line. It's great. I'm so happy with it.
Yeah, it's really it's a fun build. It's a fun build.
People were scared, and there was only like 2 instances of blood.
And you know what? I'm actually shocked that I wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
Well, we're not done. The stream's not over.
I'm shocked too because I'm used to needles and everything. Like I said, I haven't had an accident in my 30-year career, and now.
Oh no! Now I feel real bad.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to change up the thumbnail whenever the stream goes back up and call it "There Will Be Blood."
There will be blood. Yeah, there's a poster for that. I'm sure we won't get in trouble with that at all.
There will be blood. It might be yours.
Yeah, that's how we get around it.
Oh yes. That's that silk fabric wire that you were saying before. Does that have a wire wrap already on it, Tina?
What do you mean?
On the Discord.
Is there already wire on that grip and you're wrapping over it?
Yep.
You'll want to just make sure to go the same direction as the wrap that's already on it, so that it looks like it's like laid in between.
Ah, okay. I see what you mean.
The grain.
Yeah.
But I think it'll look right. I mean, you could try it against, but you'll have to be really specific about. It doesn't give as much room for error.
Yep. Got it up.
Oh man, looks great.
Right? This is the Insta part where you're like, I want to take a picture of my sword. It's gonna look so good.
Yeah, I'm gonna post mine up in the group there. See how I go.
I hope it's okay. I put the one that I made for the challenge in there too, because it was like a lot.
Oh yeah, put it in there. Put it in there.
It'll take a minute for more innuendo.
That's right.
Yeah, so I definitely this was Zane gave me this. This is what the crafting community is for. Is for inspiring you to use materials that you didn't think of.
Yes.
Because I tried to use this actual piece of like leather fabric.
Yeah.
And it was just way too thick, and it made the grip of the tiny sword, the pin, because of the thickness of the leather, became the same width as the pommel, and so then it was like just a tube instead of having the pommel and then the grip of the sword being skinnier than the pommel. And paper, man, paper and a little bit of glue, and roll it, and it works just great. And
Nice.
this is like 4 swords.
Yeah, that's gonna last a long time. That's great.
And it cut it in half. It was a whole piece, so yeah, it'll last forever.
So before we go to the Discord, get your. I see photos starting to come in. I'll show everyone on the stream, and then Amie, Tina, and Michael, I'll show you the sword I made I may have to go back and redo my sword again for the with the pop rivet, but I want to do a before and an after for everyone, so you can see what good wire wrap looks like and doesn't look like.
I would love that.
Hold on, let's see. Let me get it up. Let me get it up there so we can see it.
I'm trying to find. There it is. My Gryffindor sword. So you guys can see an example of the paper. 2.
Oh, here we go. I'll show it here right now real quick. So here's the before. Here's my wire wrap sword for Michael's challenge. Yes, it's a little loose. It's a little bubbly. But that's okay. And then here's today's wire wrap.
I'm just putting mine up in there now.
A little tighter. Ooh, there we go. Light. What's up, Light? A little tighter. So imagine that. A little bit of instruction goes a long way, everyone. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? Okay, it looks like folks are starting to pop on over and post some stuff on the Discord. Are we ready Are we ready to pop on over and take a look at it?
I just put a couple in there of mine, and it's not like it's just so because I think that you'll be able to see the detail a little bit better, and there's examples in there of the different things I'm talking about.
Perfect. Oh my goodness, there's other stuff in here. Look at this.
I'm so excited. Gosh. I want to see all of it. This is my favorite part of the Sunday stream. Well, of all the streams. But...
It's honestly, like, I'm not joking. This is one of my favorite things I've made on a Sunday because it's so different to anything that we've made on the channel before.
Right.
Normally we make something like stone texture or, something that, kind of crafts that we're kind of maybe used to.
Yep.
But I don't have anything like this. And it's so cool. I have one. No.
Well, you've got it now, brother. You've got it now.
$5. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, let's pop on over to the Discord here, and we'll check out everyone's work in progress from this week, from the last few days. And starting it off, Mini Mason, who is having Sunday Easter dinner with his folks now. We hope you're having a good time with your family. Thanks for stopping by earlier, but we get a few shots of the work in progress from Mini Mason's latest build.
I didn't find my phone to make a picture.
So cool.
Yay!
So cool. Mini Mason, this inn is absolutely amazing. Oh, and to answer Mini Mason's question, he was asking if this looks like a Chinese character of any sort, and I was like, it looks familiar. It is. If it had, it's missing just 4 little marks underneath of it, but it would be my son's. It's my son's last name in Mandarin. That's why it looks so familiar. This character, he was asking about this design on the wall. Anyway, there you go, Mini Mason. That's where it comes from. I was looking at some of my son's Mandarin homework the other day, and I was like, oh, that's where that comes from. That's why it looks familiar. But
I had to legit tell people that was a miniature and not a real building.
Not a real building.
And then Mini Mason was like, I don't believe you.
Believe it,
no, bro.
Like there's more stuff down here, I believe, of it, but this is the
incredible.
It's just absolutely phenomenal. He's like, I made this set for the interior a while back too, so Mini Mason's got interior furniture that's going to be going in because not only is it an amazing building, it's playable interior, of course, that players can navigate through. It's just going to be a fun build. We'll have to get Mini Mason on the show to showcase that building off here soon. So amazing. So amazing. Love that furniture on the inside. All the detail and the texture of the wood. It's just, it's ace, as the pickle jar would say.
Just like that.
Just like that. Well, he perfected his crazy crafter accent on his 12-hour stream yesterday. So,
snap.
Yeah, it's spot on Southern California accent, brah.
Hey, you guys didn't ask me to do my northern.
Oh well, we can't. The stream isn't over yet. The stream isn't.
I
over
did pretty good. I think I only had like one. Oh gosh.
Oh gosh.
Oh gosh.
The furniture factory, Tina. Oh my gosh, look
Hey,
at you,
Tina.
Tina's making all the furniture. Like I love these, Tina. Is this just foam? Is this foam core? Or is this what did you use?
That was foam core, yes.
Foam core, yeah.
That was a tedious job.
There's a lot of small details in here.
Yeah.
They look great.
Mm-hmm.
Did you what did you use to
I love
texture
this.
it? Pencil?
Yep.
Yep. Sharp pencil, yeah.
Yes.
That looks good.
Not that sharp.
Oh, you really?
If you go too sharp, you tear the foam.
Yeah, that's
You have
true.
to be really careful, really gentle.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
It almost looks like you used a sharp wood sculpting tool, but it's really good. Love this. Those are going to be fun painted up. What project is this for?
It was a project I made last year. It's the yawning portal.
Oh, nice.
I put a picture in it.
Cool.
I'll put.
What kinds
I
of fun
did-
cover?
Oh, I remember now. There it is. This is what it's.
Yep.
We've seen this one up there before. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. That looks great, Tina. What a cool build. I love your wood texture. I love all this brick. The stone color you've got on the outside here. It's such a cool color. I love it.
Mhm.
I love it.
That was it's an Italian brand. I think Max DM will know it. It's a Life Color. I think I have it here. Right. Okay. It's that, but that's the wooden. But it's Life Color.
What color is that from? And that's the
But that
stone.
is that's wood. But I do have the stones. Wait, I'll get it. Wait, I'll get it.
Go ahead and grab
We're
it.
waiting.
We're
Hashtag love that Tina.
Hashtag love that Tina. Bam, 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 bam.
Hashtag curly takeover.
Here you go.
Yeah, that yawning portal is awesome. Are you showing it to us right now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me do this real quick if you're going to show it
Stand
real
by.
quick. Stand
I
by,
can
don't
see
you-
it.
We can see it. Hold on. Let me go back to it here real quick. Boop. So they can show us the color. We'll go right back to Discord momentarily, ladies and gentlemen. But stone gray. And now that's a kit?
Set.
It's a set?
It's a set. It's a set of paint.
God, I want that. I want that. Look at that. Okay, well, adding that to the wish list. My wife will be thrilled.
Rue the day.
It's like 18 euros for the 6. So that's
Value.
I love it.
yeah, it's good, and
That's
I
really
really
good.
love it because it's very natural and high pigmented. So I really love that.
Well, it
Brand.
looks great. It looks really good. If you we'll go back, we're
Okay.
popping back over here to the Discord. You guys can see how awesome it looks over here on the stream. Fantastic work, Tina. That yawning portal is a dope. Going into some interior shots here of the Mini Masons Big Inn. Looking at kind of that same. I wonder if Mini Mason's using the same set because it looks. I love that stone color that they're using, but hoping to have some swords populate that fireplace there, Root. That'll be cool.
Well, so I actually he's the first one I was shipping swords to, and I tried to go to the post office and didn't realize it's Saturday because pandemic, and they were closed. So I'm like, oh, I'll just swing by FedEx and see. It's like the boxes are like, I mean, and it doesn't weigh anything. And my swords, you just made one. You know they don't weigh anything.
They don't weigh anything. They're light.
And the guy's like, oh, Canada, $95.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
like, nope, I will Teach
So
him
much
how to
money.
make his own. No, I'm just kidding. I'll wait till the post office opens. Thanks.
Well,
What about, is UPS even that expensive?
yes.
Probably. We didn't swing by a UPS, but I can just they do like flat rate envelopes and boxes and things at the post office.
Yep.
That
It'll be
are
way cheaper.
way cheaper.
Yep.
Do you know what you need to do, Amy? Is you need to make loads of swords and then find a European distributor and then just send them one package and then get them distributed from Europe.
There you go. Gina's like, I'll do it.
I'll be the distributor in Europe. No
There
problem.
you go. That would be the distributor.
Oh my gosh. I also, so in Colin in my sphere, we teach at workshops at colleges that are like weekends of just sword fighting all day. And they usually have like a merchandise night type thing where people come and sell swords. And I was like, I want to bring Zane's little like sword racks and set up a tiny little merchandise corner on a like tiny table.
And what I want to do for that is I want to build you like a little merchant shop to go in front, like to have like
the tiniest little.
So dope. That'll be cool. Everyone will buy them because they're freaking adorable.
And then all the teachers will hate me because there'll be all these pins just everywhere.
Well,
people go to push each other and they're all stabbed.
Everyone's gonna be stabbing each other with stinking tiny swords. It'll be like the lightsaber rule when you go to Disneyland. You buy the lightsaber from Savi's workshop. You gotta put it away. You can't have it out and play with it. You gotta put it away, kids. You gotta put it away.
You see the little monster on my camera.
Oh, is there? You got a hitchhiker there.
Yeah.
Oh. So
I pull out my sword and go like, huh?
Oh,
Blue? No, it's a little spider.
A little spider hanging on your teeny tiny sword. Hold on. I gotta switch it back.
Oh my gosh, I want it to be on the sword.
It is on the sword.
Go.
I'm switching, so everyone can see
I
this.
always get complaints that my photos, they don't like get what the scale is. And so I feel like if I took a picture with a tiny spider.
Have you made two swords, Tina?
Huh? Wait.
Tina's made two. I've made one.
Go. Oh, he won't go up.
The arachnid stealing the. It's an arachnid takeover too. That's super cute.
Okay, yeah. Bye. He's going upstairs.
He's going up now.
To the lights. Okay, bye.
He's headed to the lights now. He's like,
tomorrow.
I'm being played with swords. This is wild. Oh man.
Okay.
Ernesto says I need a little 1/40th size mini of me manning the table.
Did we finish the Discord?
No, we're still going back to it. We're going back to it.
We got distracted by spiders.
We got distracted by the spider. Tina is an inspiration. Tina is an inspiration. What brand was this?
I think that was on the paint.
Yeah, the brand. I think we got that pulp. Max DM Crafting is saying, such tiny detailed work, awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of great work. It's gonna blow your mind here, Max. There's so many awesome people in the Discord crafting, posting their work. I would love to see these at a workshop. Yeah, Tanya, definitely they will be at a workshop. I guarantee you.
Oh my gosh.
That's a great place to sell them. People like in your community, I guarantee they would love to have one of these in their life.
A little bit of work in progress for my build for the Nat 1 videos Sword and Shield challenge. I couldn't just build a sword and shield. I've got a little diorama that I'm slowly piecing together here for mine, but it's coming along. That was last night. All of it's dried, and I should be able to wrap that up by tomorrow. I'm excited. It's been a fun challenge you've got running over there, Michael.
Fun, yep, and like everyone's doing something different, and it's like the quality is very, very high, so it's great. So we're moving on to Zane's work in progress. As most of you know, before I got in D&D, I used Blender to make video game assets. Here's a few video games that he never finished. This one reminds me of almost like Jurassic Park, like a cage setting at Jurassic Park here. This is pretty cool. But Zane is now transferring. What Zane is doing is transferring his skill sets from, the game animation design into his crafting, creating his own STLs. He's got a really cool video that he posted a couple weeks ago about, creating his own sewer tiles, designing the STLs, and then incorporating them into his builds.
I need to fix my. I've got it all cleaned up, but I need to get my printer going because I bought the little STLs. They're like $5, and it was a ton of really cool sewer tiles that Zane had created to go along with your sewer stuff. So that's going to be great when Derek Ludwig comes on the stream next week and we make sewer tiles. That's going to be a ton of fun. But Zane, I'm absolutely loving all these 3D animations that you're designing and incorporating into his builds and offering it up for his subscribers now on his channel. It's super cool, man. I don't see a lot of crafters designing their own STLs and incorporating it into their builds. That's amazing. Super cool.
Yeah.
I just put a link in there.
Nice.
To his YouTube channel.
Thank you for doing that, brother. Head on over to Zane Morgan Crafts and show it some love, everyone. It's a newer channel, but Zane's absolutely smashing it with all of his content. It's fantastic. Crafting on the cheap and making terrain accessible for everyone. What is it? This is what I did while listening to work. Work. What happened? I missed it here. What happened? What did he do? Do we see what he did here? It's on the Discord.
I'm looking at the YouTube. Oh.
On the Discord.
I don't know what happened. I hope we're. What did he do? Did he break something? Did you break this net over here, Zane? I missed it. I don't know what you did. He may just be. I know he's working. He's typically working on Sundays.
It's something to do with his shoe. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Did you bust a hole in your shoe? Did you bust your shoe, bud?
Looks like he crossed the safety line.
Yeah, did you cross the safety line? Stay in the hole. Stay in your box. Rebel trying to come out of the line. All right, who's this knucklehead with his first ever teeny tiny sword build? I like this. I really like my first. I really like my first sword, Amie. Such a great teacher. This is the first of many that I'm going to build. They're a ton of fun to build, and now that I know the process, or at least for the basic bead cap one, it'll be
go for it.
It'll be awesome. This is a ton of fun. I love these little swords. This is mixing up Captain Pickle. This is Josh Matkin from the Pickle Jar.
Yes.
Who came out and hung out with. I know he streamed earlier today did a Sunday morning stream, but he also did a 12-hour stream yesterday.
Yeah.
Hanging out. It was a great stream. Got to hang out with him for a little bit. But his pirate bust is coming together. Look at this. Oh my gosh.
I want to see whenever the
just so amazing
into that.
I know. This is fantastic, Josh. I think he says his first bust from it's a bust that I think he got from Broken Toad, and it's a really great bust. Like he's been working a lot, and it's his chance to work on his skin tones, and boys, it's looking absolutely fantastic, Josh.
The leather
looks amazing.
The leather looks amazing. All of it looks good. So cool, Josh. Thank you for sharing that. That's looking baller. Now it needs a teeny tiny sword to go in that hand. Like, look, I'm showing you a teeny tiny sword, right? That's what the pirate needs. It needs a sword to scale. Speaking of teeny tiny swords, here we go. Oh my gosh, Amie, look at this. This is the one you're entering. A little bit of a preview and spoiler alert for Nat One Videos Sword and Shield Challenge, but you guys get a sneak peek of it. This is the man, the color on this is so good, Amie. I love UV resin flowers and the wrap, the green base layer of the handle with the gold wrap inlaid on top. It, like I said, it looks something that I would have found that I've seen at a museum with all the ancient armor from back in the day. It's just beautiful. This is cool.
Yeah,
I love that background too.
I would not have even attempted any of it had there not been a challenge. And I was like, oh, I gotta make a shield. And then I kept thinking like, oh, you gotta get foam and paint. Like they're trying to trick me into doing foam and paint. And like carving foam. I was like, I see you. I don't know, I had gotten the UV resin because the super glue was like a little bit opaque, like you could still see it when I would super glue some of the ends of the swept hilts that we didn't do today because they're just such a pain in the butt. I want to make sure they don't come apart, So I put a little bit of glue on the ends, but you can see it, or if it like fills the cup, you can see it. So I'd gotten the UV resin as a suggestion from Zane to use because it hardens completely clear. And I was like, how can I avoid foam and paint? I was still play with some wires. Yeah.
I'll be your distributor if you go on foam.
Uh-oh. I have a feeling the next challenge is going to involve like a foam challenge.
I think so too.
I have wanted to make like some fun pin cushions that like a Sword in the Stone type of pin cushion to stick all of my swords into. But I've fallen in love with the Discord named him Caesar, the pincushion tomato, Julius Caesar. So I don't know, but yeah, I wouldn't have even attempted or even thought or sparked that form of creativity in my brain without Nat One Videos, Michael doing the challenge.
Yep.
So thanks for that.
No, it's cool. That's what it's all about.
I also like the fact that you've used one of your gauntlets from our line of work as the little backdrop on this picture here. That looks absolutely amazing. That'd be a cool pin cushion to do like a leather gauntlet one, or at least have it look like it doesn't have to be the actual leather, but a faux leather one would be kind of cool.
Well, that is definitely Ashley's glove that I stole because I'm traveling. So probably don't turn her nice leather glove into a pin cushion.
I'm not saying turn hers into a pin cushion, Ashley. That's not what I'm condoning. I'm not condoning that.
That's what I heard.
No, I didn't say that particular glove. If it was your glove, I wouldn't say stick holes in it either. Ah, look at these little bead caps. So this is taking off the pommel and then putting on your own cap there for the end. That's so cool for these are great.
That's because you said, but can they be smaller?
And they can. I like this faceted one where it's got like these different like these harder angles, like these beveled edges. I love this pommel. These are cool beads.
Yeah, the little line.
Carl Make Stuff says that Campaign Train is doing something with EVA where I might not even have to paint. I don't know.
Ooh. There you go, but you're gonna be painting foam in no time. Don't worry, it's coming.
I'm sorry, Michael, I interrupted you.
It's coming.
Not at all. I mean, the thing about the painting of the foam stuff is, like, it's easy. Like, I mean, it's not like if you haven't tried it before, you go like, how do they do that? And then you try it once, and you're like, oh,
that's how they do that.
Yep, that's how
dry
they
brushing.
do that.
And then you know,
that's how I feel about my swords. Like, guys, you can do this.
Oh.
This is definitely more difficult than painting rock textures, for sure.
Look at this. Look at this, Michael. This little sword turned out great, brother. This turned out fantastic. You got really nice curves and bends. You got nice curves, Michael, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Curves and all
that wasn't coming from us this time.
This looks really, really good, Michael. That little opposing Queon that's going up on the outside there on the opposite side of the Knuckle Guard. That looks fantastic. That's a really, I love that bead cap too. That's a really cool bead cap. Did you paint the pommel?
I painted the pommel and then I painted the handle black because
it pops. It pops more. That's a good idea. That looks great.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a really good bend in that knuckle guard.
Yeah, I like that you did the sharp bend at the top.
I do too.
The little detail is nice.
Yep.
I mean, that was an accident.
I was like, it probably wasn't on purpose.
The accident happened.
Yeah.
Look at you.
A happy accident.
And here's Tina in action. How about look at it. Not only there are 3 right here, but there is an assembly line of more in the back ready to go, Tina. Of course there is. I used that today too, the little foam to anchor it in. Having a piece of foam or the pin cushion to anchor it in and work on is a really useful tool.
That's
for
easy.
an old tool. Yep.
But I was looking for beads and I didn't find any, so I have to. I tried several things. I tried this one too, but that didn't work out that great.
On that one of Tina's photograph, you see the little bead on the right-hand side, the little one with the... I was going to use one of those. I've got one right here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I might do that now. That's pretty cool.
But see, Tina, I like the one on the far left too, because there are so many different types of guards that they had on swords throughout the age. Like any one of these will work. And then I really like kind of the one on the left-hand side. It's almost just got like a pierced dish hilt sort of style instead to it. It looks great.
The back from an earring.
Nice. It looks good.
Right.
See, that's another thing I wouldn't thought of to use, the back of the earring.
Yeah. That's
super cool.
I was just looking around to see what I got in my bit box.
In the bit box.
Tina's French small. Ernesto likes your French small sword guard, and that's a big compliment. Ernesto is a historical European martial arts swordsman.
So. Nice.
And what is the French one? This one?
The one with the little loops in it. Yeah.
Yep.
This one?
The middle one, right? It's the middle one in the picture on the Discord.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. It looks gorgeous. It looks gorgeous, Tina. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you. I love it. It's fun to
Oh, Michael, what are we looking at here?
Hey, showing up.
So basically, I've been seeing people put their entries in for the Sword and Shield Challenge. So I gave up on trying to win this thing quite a long time ago. As soon as basically Amie and Zane started putting things up, I was just like, I've got no chance. So yeah, it's just an XPS foam little shield and sword there. That'll be what I'm putting for the challenge. So I'm actually thinking of doing another one, except painting it differently. So we'll see.
I think you want to know what I think you could do to this one right here? Yeah. I think you could go back and wire wrap your handles with some of the wire and incorporate that into from what we did today. If you just wire wrap those handles, that's what I would do. That's what I'm thinking. I'm looking at it right now. Right now I'm thinking about wire wrapping everything because we're doing this and we're having so much fun. I'm having so much fun on the stream doing this today.
Because that's foam, it's not particularly strong.
True.
If trying to wrap around it might just cut in and break it.
Yeah,
Could be. It might be too hard.
Or you could use some silk wire or just wire, not iron wire. How do you call it?
Not a copper wire?
No, not copper wire, but just thread. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
thread?
Like thread?
Yeah. You could use that too.
Yep, you could take the little thread and depending.
Yeah.
I know I have my what is the little the twine and undo the twine and it'll get smaller, thinner layers and then wrap it. Hold on, let me bring you back, Tina. Let me bring you back.
No, don't.
I'll bring you back.
It just means it's just wire.
I see.
Just allez.
I see.
How you call it, allez?
It's basically wire with silk on it.
Yep.
So it's like a thread.
No, but it's not that hard. I mean, look, see?
Yeah, it's like yarn. It's like yarn.
That's what. Yeah, I was looking for that word. Okay, thank you.
Haha, got it.
Pink.
I got some words.
Carl makes fun of my gist.
We got some pink interlaced within here. I love this pink wire root. This looks so good. Yeah. I love the pink and the white interlaced together. I love it. I love this little candle wax seal. Is that from Dicey Times? Is that where that's?
It is from Dicey Times.
I recognize that seal. I recognize the color. It's the color of the wax. That's that I recognize. That's so cool. I saved mine too. I saved my seals because I can't throw them away. They're so cool. Oh yeah, some more Mouseketeer Forge action. Zane printed up some racks and designed some racks and printed them up and sent them to Amie.
He also painted them.
He also what a dude. You're spoiling her, Zane. You're spoiling her.
Yep.
But Mouseketeer Forge is alive and is the bellows will be going for a long time. I think this is the beginning of. I'm excited to see where this crafting path takes you, I'm telling you, everyone's going to have little teeny tiny swords at all the workshops moving forward. It'll be so much fun. I love it. Oh my gosh. Tina, go home, Tina. Stop it. Stop it, Tina, with your amazing diorama here. I love it. I love it. This is so cool. I love this. This is for the Sword and Shield Challenge from Nat 1 too, right, Tina?
Yeah.
Yes.
Style.
So good.
So see the little runes around the edge?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are they?
Wait, I'll try and find them here. They're somewhere here.
Like little stickers or something?
No, that's. I don't know if you see it.
For like jewelry?
It's from. Ooh. Okay, that wasn't closed. Not so good.
Ha.
Green Stuff World.
Ah, cool. And those are they actual dwarven runes or?
The dwarven symbols,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
or I
You
got
know they
the
are.
chaos symbols. They're nice too. And then the orcs. I'll use them someday.
I'll use them
Really like-
someday.
I really like them because it's so detailed. It's so small. It's really, really small. See? And that's for the shield. It was perfect for the shield. And then I had this piece of fur lying around. I thought, well, okay, I'm gonna combine those two and make a Viking dwarf. So-
Amazing.
Awesome. So cool, Tina.
Amazing.
I love it. It's so cool. I can't wait to see this video. No pressure on you, Michael, but like this may be one of my favorite. This may be
No
one of my
pressure there.
favorite things that your channel has produced so far. I always, I happen to be a sucker for community engagement and bringing people together and crafting.
What? No.
But yeah, right. But I think that's my favorite part of what we all do, and the thing that I always enjoy about all the Sunday streams. And same with all the sharing that goes on in the Facebook group, on our Discords, on everyone's content that they create on the channel, is their take and their interpretation of builds, and it's so cool, and it's so inspiring to see everyone's work. So it's a really brilliant idea, mate. I'm so glad you did it, because again, things that trying stuff that I've never tried before, right? I wanted to, can I tell a story in this size? Can I tell a little story in this base? And what story can I tell with this little piece? So I like it. It's fun.
So the thing about the challenge is, like I said, whenever I put the challenge out, is basically with this one anyway, there are no winners, because basically I know for a fact I couldn't personally choose a winner out of this lot.
Right.
The thing is that it's been great that people have actually done some entries into it. And if we were to do another one, I might have to try and get a sponsor in or something, and then get someone to judge another. But like the idea of doing like where we're all making the same thing but in our own way, I think it's a really fun thing to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
It is.
I actually really enjoy the fact that the challenge can be in trying to be pushed by your peers, and not so much like trying to win a competition.
See, that's what I like as well.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
The idea for me, maybe we should go back to the camera screen we're just sitting on. Oh, we're back. Okay.
Good.
The idea, this whole crafting thing is not about trying to win anything. It's about trying to
Sharing.
get better. Just get better at your own thing, and it's pretty cool.
Well,
I really love everybody's got a different view. If you look at things, they all seem to look different in the eyes of the other people. So I really love to do some brain picking from other people. How do you see that? How you see that? I just love it. That's how you grow. That's how you love it anyway.
Yep.
Love it even better.
Yep.
Sure.
So, okay.
I mean, that being said, I think that you can still view people's entries and go, that one's on another level. Do you know what I mean? Like, for instance, like the amount of time that it took me to sit down and cut a circle of XPS foam and score a few bits of, you know, like it's not a very complicated build. I like the look of it and I like the result. But then you look at something like Amy's done, with the little hand-wrapped swords, and then the shield, and then like the flowers, and then you just go like, okay, so that person's like just taking it to another level. And then you'll see what Zane's done as well. It's like, it's awesome.
Like Sander too. I like
Sander.
his one.
Oh yeah, Sander, who?
Where was Saunders?
I mean, Sander's basically kind of.
He made a whole diorama of it
build
and a
out of-
dice tower.
You made a dice tower. You made a dice
Yeah.
tower. I
I
love
love
it.
that.
I love it.
I mean, you ask him to make a shield and he makes a dice tower out of it.
He did. My favorite was when he put it in his hand and was like, "It does fit in my hand, but here it is on the dice tower."
Yeah,
loved it. I loved
cheeky, cheeky.
The shield part does fit in his hand, so he's still stuck to the premise.
He did. He did. He's like, you didn't say I couldn't put it on a giant dice tower that's on. Speaking of fudging, like entries into a competition, I want to give a huge shout out to everyone in the Discord, to the Chilling Wargamers, to all of my friends from the crafting community that recently showed up this last week to vote. I submitted my Kill Bill diorama. Each month, the local gaming store here in LA that's close to us has a mini painting competition. And I was like, oh, I've submitted D&D minis before, and no one submits a single mini. They all submit like these crazy things, and I was just like, how do I compete with this? And they're like, I've entered this thing, but the thing is like 80 mil, it's like an 80 mil scale model. I'm like, okay, well technically that is a mini. So I was just like, all right, I see the game, and I entered my single mini was the Bride from my Kill Bill diorama. The Bride just happens to be surrounded by 44 other grayscaled minis on top of an LED lit rock garden. So no big deal. Anyway, because of your support and because of you guys turning out to vote, I won that competition. So thank you all for your love and support as I entered that into the competition. So that's pretty sweet. That's some pretty sweet. I get to spend. Don't tell my son, but I get to spend $50 at that game store.
Ooh,
He's gonna want to
nice.
take all of it. Oh yeah. That's some new mini paints for Papa, and I guess for the kiddo too. For the kiddo too.
And the rest you sent to Amy?
Amy's set. Amy is squared
Amy
away.
will just send it back to the kiddo.
Yeah, Amy will send it back to the kiddo.
Amy will
That's
just end up sending it back to Benjamin.
true. Well,
Uncle Amy's a sucker.
Uncle Amy is a sucker. That is a huge, but that's seriously no joke, guys. I really appreciate you guys, all the shout outs and trying to help me out in that competition. That means a lot. And that's like one of the things that I built. It's probably the thing. It's probably the build as far as like all the terrain and stuff that I've built like from scratch that I'm most proud of to date. Like that one's pretty cool. I like that one. My favorite thing that I've ever worked on is still the Dwarven Cemetery. That's my favorite thing that I've ever painted. That thing, I'm looking at it right now. I need to figure out a way to set it up in the shelf. I need to have my shelves situated so you can see all the crazy terrain that I've accumulated. Now, we've got like 6 months. We've got over almost 7 months of builds now from the stream that I want to show all this cool stuff off. I got to figure a way to start showcasing it behind me in the streams because it's dope. I want to show it off. Well, Amie Root, this has been an absolute masterclass in teeny tiny sword making. Yeah. I am so thrilled that you joined us here on Prime Time, and we're able on Prime Time, and we're able to show us how to work. We worked out of our comfort zone. Thank you for guiding us out of that comfort zone and showing us how to create something new and amazing that we did not know how to do prior to the stream. Thank you.
Made a little slap tail.
Let me see. Oh my god!
Here, wait.
Love it.
It's so cool. So cool.
just for the sake of. Oh man, look at my messy workspace.
Oh, I love that. I love that messy workspace.
You see?
Woohoo!
Woo.
Oh my.
I think
That
I'm going
looks awesome.
to give this as a gift to my wife. I think.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Do you know,
Big gifts.
like, you could use it as an earring.
Yeah, I've been told a couple times. There's been people that are like, I want it as an earring, and I'm like, I probably couldn't leave it this sharp, unless you just wanted to like stab it through your ear.
That would be. Oh, that would be nasty.
When I was a teenager, I had nappy pins through my ear.
Oh my goodness.
And proper.
I did think about you could take a safety pin and make like the inside, because all you'd have to do is split the little loop, and then you could run a bead down it, and then you could make a sword out of the closed side of a safety pin, and people could safety pin swords to themselves.
Ah,
If you
Oh,
wanted
wow.
to.
that's a good idea.
But I feel like I would be putting people in danger if I turned them into earrings.
Yep.
Tina
You
started this show with
Yeah,
bleeding.
you did.
Like,
I mean, come on.
Oh,
career.
I love it.
Down the drain. Oh god.
Oh yes, campaign terrains. This has been a super informative and oddly schmexy. Thanks, Amie Root, Tina Martin's crazy crafter, and that one videos. Thank you, Cross.
I feel like that's a motto that I
Yeah.
could. I'm like, Amie Root, super informative and oddly schmexy.
There's your hashtag. There's your hashtag right there.
Hashtag oddly schmexy.
Hashtag oddly schmexy. Super informative on oddly schmexy. Yes.
That's such a long hashtag.
It is a very long hashtag. I love long hashtags. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today out there for the stream today. Amie Root. So now, okay, I've saved this.
Oh no.
Are you ready?
Is this a picture of us as teenagers?
No. I'll happily share that on the Discord later. This involves your teeny tiny swords. You have been making some awesome small swords and rapiers, and Jeff Kent posted on the event page the other day is now what teeny tiny swords are, what other brand are we gonna branch out into? So my challenge to all of us and to all of you out there is using kind of this teeny tiny sword format, using this wire wrap as an intricacy part. I want to see if we can come up with something. I think we need to come up with a pirate cutlass solution is what we need. We need a pirate cutlass solution, and that is based off of the play that's inspired by the play you've written during quarantine here, A Pirate's Life for She, which is Amie Root's logo right up there, which is definitely starting to pop up. That's coming up here pretty soon. So if you're gonna have a frickin' pirate ship, and that's gonna happen, you're gonna need to have it strewn about with some proper cutlasses. The rapiers and stuff will go well on there too, but we're gonna need to start thinking of cutlasses. So all of us put your thinking caps on. Root, put your thinking cap on. Tina, Michael, all the Crazy Crafter family. Let's
I don't understand it.
It's kind of like a curved sword.
It's a curved sword. I'll put it in the Discord.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Like a
Okay.
saber.
Yep. There we go. So time to start thinking about little mini cutlasses. Ha-ha!
I've actually been watching Pirates of the Caribbean, and I'm on to Salazar's Revenge.
Nice.
I might watch that tonight.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice. So you've got cutlass action happening. Well, please, if you have not done so, please head on over to Nat One Videos, subscribe to Nat One Videos, and support Michael. He's got links to his Patreon over on his YouTube channel, with some amazing benefits for the patrons. You get a little bit of behind the scenes look into Michael's process, which are, Michael's a great storyteller, and I always enjoy his content, getting to watch and consume it. So if you haven't become a patron over at Nat One Videos, be sure you head on over and consider joining the fellowship over there for him. And then if you haven't done so, follow Amie Root at Mouseketeer_Forge on Instagram. That is such a big big huge to Amie as she begins. She's just beginning in this journey, but has just, it's like slid out into the spotlight and saying, "Ha! I'm here, everyone!" and is rocking it. Give her some love over on Instagram. And then last but not least, if you haven't subscribed to the Crazy Crafter, it's the biggest way you can support me right now. Subscribe, like this video, comment on it afterwards, share with your friends. Let's continue to grow this community here too, so it gets bigger and bigger and crazier and crazier, and we continue to share all of this wonderful talent that is out there in our crafting community. And a huge shout out to our very special co-host today, Tina Martins, ladies and gentlemen. Hashtag love that Tina. Thank you, Tina, for coming on and hanging out.
It was fun.
Yep, always a joy. As always, be sure. I'm back. He's put your my bling cap. Yeah, Mini Mason. You always need your bling cap. That's important. You've got an amazing.
No, I think what he was saying. How do I attach my thinking cap? Because we were attaching bead caps.
I see. Oh, thinking cap. I see. Well, bling cap would work too. Bling cap would work too. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us out there today. Be sure to craft your passion daily. Tune in next week for Derek Ludwig for joining the stream for us, sorting us some sewer tiles, and a special announcement from the Crazy Crafter next week. You'll have to tune in, and I'll see you guys during the week for as I continue to craft stuff for my D&D tabletop. Thank you so much, everyone. We will see you next time. Cheers, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Amie, are we out yet?